Hey guys, it's been a while since I recorded because most of you know we were moving from West Cork, Ireland to southeastern Ontario, where I'm from. I sponsored my husband, who's Dutch, and both of our daughters are Canadian. So that process the sponsorship took about 4 months. We started at the beginning of March and we had his visa in July. That's exceptionally fast and we're still not sure why it went through so quickly, but no one in our family is complaining because we're home. So we left Ireland on August 13th and we've been living with my best friend for 2.5 months while we looked for a house here, which was a lot harder than I expected it to be to find a place to live. We moved into our house on November 1st and our stuff arrived from Ireland on November 12th. And everything is unpacked and we're settled in and cozy and comfortable. We have a wood stove in our new house, so my husband's been stacking wood for the last 2 weeks and he's turning into a proper little Canadian now, which is really cute. And my studio is all unpacked and my looms are together and I'm weaving again, so I'm really happy. It's amazing to be home. I'd say my oldest daughter is probably the most homesick for Ireland. She really misses her friends and the dogs that we had in Ireland, which we couldn't take over. But other than that, everyone is just settling in really well. My oldest is in school again and she's doing great. And we spent the last part of the summer swimming in the river with my best friend and going to her cabin. And I joined the local Spinners and Weavers Guild and I've met a lot of really nice people there. And other than that, it's a lot of work to move country and we've been really busy for a really long time. So it's time to slow down and relax and my brain's not letting me. There's always something else you have to do, right? Like it never ends. But I'm hoping now that we're in and we're settled and most of our stuff is organized that we'll have time to relax over the holidays. So that's what we're planning anyway. So I really like our new house. I am in my new studio, which has amazing pink wallpaper. And I said I was going to paint it when we moved in, and now I'm so tired from moving, I don't even care what color the wall is. I think eventually I'll paint it again because I always do. But for now, it's good. Like, it's a really nice setup, and I might do a little tour and throw it in the video, but if I don't, that's fine too. It's all good. So, what are we working on now? Well, back in March, I finished a commission for a client, and that commission was hand-dyed, hand-spun, and hand-woven into a shawl. I called it the Galaxy Shawl at the time, and Heddle. So it came out, I think, about 28 inches wide and 70 inches long, I think. From that project, there was a lot of leftover yarn because I don't actually do the math to figure out how much I need for a shawl. I wing it and that horrifies people, but that's what I do. So, and there's a lot of leftover fiber from that. I shipped that with my art supplies and it's arrived. So I'm working on a shawl, not a shawl, a wide scarf with the leftover art yarns. I have it set up on my 32-inch rigid Heddle loom. It's going to be a wide scarf and it's wider than my samplet would have allowed for, so I'll show that in a second. And I'll also show you what I'm currently doing, which is basically just picking out the color progression I want for the scarf. I used all the same. The warp is totally hand spun, except I have some boucle that I ordered when I did her commission. So there's a couple warps of this in the purple and in the navy blue. And the rest of the warp is all hand spun. And it's a blend of merino and silk and bamboo, I believe. It might be Polworth though, I'm not 100% sure anymore. Because I also don't label anything. That's actually one of my, I'm gonna try to do that this time, but we'll see if I ever do. So anyway, I've picked out the color progression, which is basically the fade from purple to blue again. I was considering kind of chopping and changing the colors and swapping, like, so it would be blue, purple, blue, purple. and blending it a bit more, but I just really loved the progression on the shawl I made, and I want to do it again, so I'm gonna I might add a little bit more texture in this scarf than even I put in the shawl. I'm playing around with some tapestry weaving techniques. So like I just finished doing a bunch of loops in the weave, and in the shawl that I did, I had hand stitched tapestry weaving in that, I don't know the name of it. Is it sumac that looks like a braid? And I did that with pure silk, and there's chunks of it braided in and woven into the shawl. It looks really cool, so I'm still playing with texture and exploring that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick look at what fiber I have left over, which art yarns, and I'll show you my progress so far on the weaving, and then it's just going to be time lapses of me weaving the piece, and we'll see if I decide to film an outro and comment on what I've made at the end. It's always a surprise. Enjoy. Okay, so here are the art yarn bundles that I have left from the original shawl that was finished in March of this year. So I've started out with the lighter pinks, and I'm going in darker and darker. A lot of these are showing up more purple than blue, which is interesting on the camera, because this one's very blue, and this one's significantly more blue than the camera shows, but that's fine. Yeah, because this looks like it goes from black to light blue. It's interesting. And then it proceeds through some teals, and then I have this one, which I did not use in the original shawl, but I did spin for the original shawl, and I love it so much I'm going to finish the end with that. So yeah, that's the progression it's going to go into, and it's going to be a long scarf. I believe it's about, I think we worked it at about 10 feet long, because I wanted it to wrap around my face twice. It's colder than I remember, friends. Over here are the leftover warps. So I did the shawl and a 10-foot scarf and still have this warp left over. And these are art yarns I decided not to use because they didn't quite match the color scheme. And some pretty roll legs. So over here, sorry if I'm making people dizzy. This is what I've done so far. I've just used 2 colors so far, and this is the loops that's like in tapestry weaving. It's so soft, it's ridiculous. And then this is just plain weave with art yarns that are coiled. And when you get to big fat chunks of coils, they pop through like this and give you this really satisfying like bobble effect. So the rest of the video will just be time lapse of the weave progressing, and then hopefully when I'm done, I'll have the inclination to do a little outro and to show you guys the finished scarf. If I don't do a video, I will include photos of the finished product. Enjoy! normal, but it also went very quickly. And because I was trying to get it done in the one weekend, I didn't film every section, but you get the gist. And it's finished. And I'm in love with it. So it starts off with light blues into teals. My favorite part is the dark blacks and purples, and then it moves into lighter and lighter purples. It's huge. Like, I can wrap it around twice. Oh, so cozy. And it's not actually itchy either because it has silk and 18 micron and 14 micron merino. So it's super soft. I'm still torn if I'm gonna sell it or keep it. I'm heavily leaning towards keeping it because I am in love with it. I was kind of thinking of selling it because money's a bit tight after moving countries. But I haven't decided yet, and I really love it, so I might end up keeping it. So yeah, that's the scarf, and I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. I love the texture. Like, I love the texture. I do wonder how well it will wear, like, for a scarf that took so much effort. Like, I hope it doesn't kind of, like the balls, the little baubles here, I hope they don't all just fuzz up and become gross. Or felt up. That's another concern. So, and I don't necessarily know how functional it is as, like, it feels more like it's a special scarf, like the one I would wear to, like, family Christmas or something, you know? So, hold on. So yeah, thanks for following along with that one, that project. I have another project that I'm about to start. We got some items secondhand from a friend at Guild, and one of them was this lamp. There's actually two of them, and they match. And I'm not a fan of chrome, so I'm actually going to revamp this entire lamp. And one of the things I was thinking is that instead of this, like, it's plastic painted as chrome, and I'm going to try and take this part out and weave fabric to make a fabric lampshade. And I just got the yarns for that project, and it's going to be cotton, and this is the color scheme. The green is actually for Christmas gifts, but the purples and blues and teals and white are going to be for the lampshade. So I'll film that and show you how it works out, because I'm actually really excited about that project, and it should take me a little while. Like, I don't think I'll be finished it before maybe January, but we'll see how we go. I'll keep you posted. Thanks.